It's the AFC Championship game, and the road to a Super Bowl goes through Cincinnati. It's the Raiders and the Bengals, and it's all up next on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL playoffs brings us to a very loud and a very sold-out Paycor Stadium here in Cincinnati. Straight ahead, a clash to decide the AFC's representative in the Super Bowl, and it should be a great one, as it'll be the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. Hello, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The postseason continuing here on EA Sports, and man, it is electric in here, and it should be conference championship time.
I don't know about you, but my butterflies in my stomach, they have iron wings in this one. And every guy I've ever talked to has all said the same thing. This game, the conference championship game, may have more intensity than even the Super Bowl because you know what the stakes are. You're trying so hard to get to the big game that this is the one that's the real challenge.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. And they will be led out by their second-year quarterback.
And we can talk all we want about football being a team game and leaning on different parts and aspects in order to get it done. And that's entirely true during the regular season. Some weeks it's the defense, the special teams, running the football. But in the playoffs, all the pressure reverts to the quarterback, and he has to play well and play at a really high level in order for his team to win.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down, second and right at a yard.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
Let's face it, you always want a team full of guys who can get you first downs and big plays of all styles, but you've got to have a big man you can just turn and hand it to, and he can be dependable in picking up first downs.
Back to throw now on first down. Forced out to his left, and he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down. They'll run with a fullback Ham. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. Here's 3rd and 9. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. Johnson on the return. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And the Bengals take over 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by the number 1 overall pick back in 2020 from LSU. It's Joe Burrow.
Hey, we all love a good story, and what we like even more, guys who can fight through adversity. Joe Burrow coming out of high school, goes to Ohio State, doesn't get a chance to start, transfers to LSU, not thought to be a top prospect, ends up the number 1 pick in the draft, and justifies it. Tremendous play, excellent mobility, and leadership off the charts.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Solid way to start the drive, 13 yards, picking up the first.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From just shy of midfield, here's a 2nd and 4. Here's Burrow. Man open, that's Jamar Chase, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory as they're down to the 29-yard line. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Burrow looking to pass. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Robert Spillane. And the Raiders are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. Boy, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes, those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
Once more, it's the fullback Ham. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Normally when you see a short gain in the middle of a 3-4 defense, go ahead and pat the nose tackle on the back because he's holding things up and taking on extra blockers, which allows one of the inside linebackers to roam free and make the tackle.
And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down and about the length of the football. Here's 3rd and a few inches. They'll try and pick it up with Mitchell. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Well, I think it was apparent that they were ready for that one. All you had to do was look at the line of scrimmage from a defensive standpoint. They brought in some extra bulk, won at the point of attack, and stopped that run for a loss.
Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow, out of bounds at the 1-yard line. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive. Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
Out from the shadows of their goal line, here's 1st and 10 from the 11. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. He's going to have the hook up here to Chase. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. Now they go play action now. Burrow. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. No score after one on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here, as they've got it with a fourth down coming up. On fourth down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Now a fair catch called for and made right on the 45-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And this one is incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up third.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
And this is too far behind his man. He missed him. It's incomplete.
How about the show put on by these two defenses in this first half? The fireworks don't have to be just offensively. Neither one of them given an inch, and that's good coverage once again there to force another fourth down.
Johnson to return it. And call that an even 50 yards on the punt with 7 on the return. And the Bengals will take over here, 1st and 10. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. Now it's Burrow. Looking for Cooper. That's complete. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's second down.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They'll run on 3rd down with Brown. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. They keep it on the ground. Again, it's Brown. And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33. Ball at the 33, 2nd and 9. Shotgun handoff to Brown here. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Now Burrow. And he can't escape, and down he goes. Max Crosby blowing up the play and getting the sack. But, Charles, this offense just can't seem to get off the ground.
But the quarterback, he has to keep picking himself off the ground, because this pass rush, they've been on him so far in a big way. 3 sacks here in the first half. He might tell his offensive line, quit helping me up and just block the guys in front of you.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. They've been playing the field position game thus far. No score, second quarter as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
Boy, that's tough, Charles. First play of the drive, you're hoping to stay ahead of schedule. You take that huge sack, and now you're facing 2nd and a mile.
And the entire time, you were probably thinking the same thing I was. Either get rid of the ball, safely, of course, or go down. The yardage he gave up on that play, that's going to be tough for them to make up.
The Raiders on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Completes it to the fullback, Ham. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the first down. Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away.
On the return, Johnson.
It's a 45-yard punt and 8 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here.
As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
AFC title game, second quarter action, 2 minutes to play. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Now it's Burrow.
Over the middle, that's caught by Chase.
And Chase going to pick up a Bengals first down as he'll be brought down at the 38-yard line. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. It's caught by Mike Evans. He's still on his feet. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Mike Evans, 62 yards.
And the Bengals are on the board first here in this AFC Championship game.
On this stage, conference championship game, every play is magnified, and that was a big play.
No doubt about it. One thing that has these guys a step away from a shot at a big game, their big play ability. They can strike from anywhere.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that makes the score 7-0.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
That's to the left side where he's got Bowers. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. They go play action here on first down.
That one into the hands of Adams downfield.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
They'll look to throw again. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
That's complete to Peoples-Jones.
And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And his kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
Well, still trailing here, but they do get the late field goal. Now their defense will try to keep this score right where it is heading into the locker room.
Yeah, and trailing it to break, you obviously don't want to go in off of a negative play. Give them credit for that one. Finding a way to put points on the board, give them any type of a spark, anything to build off of as they try and plan a comeback.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
And with a 7-3 lead, we'll see how aggressive they want to be.
Yeah, this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
2nd down and a little more than a yard here.
Burrow will throw. Right back to Cooper, and he got him again. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the 1st half. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the 2nd quarter. Final play of the half for Burrow and company.
Down the sideline he goes.
And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the 1st half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
Well, forget about the weapons out wide. He knows he's got another weapon in the backfield of the passing game, Charles, and he utilized him perfectly on that play.
And the offense coordinator showed me something on that play, Brandon, because so often during a game, our cameras find them looking down at their play sheets, and you wonder if they're absorbing anything. He had something specific in mind, and he went to it, and it worked well.
McPherson on for the point after.
And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So we are halfway home to figuring out who will represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
But first, time to look ahead to the NFC Championship coming up later today. And it should be a great one as well, as it'll be the Dallas Cowboys squaring off against the New Orleans Saints. The Bengals got a strong performance in that 1st half by Joey B. Their quarterback, Joe Burrow. He's got a touchdown pass on the ledger as his guys were able to build a double-digit lead. We were certainly treated to an entertaining 1st half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward. Both these teams going through their final adjustments before the 2nd half. Which one will lift the Lamar Hunt Trophy? To find out, let's go back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3.
One more half to decide who takes home the Lamar Hunt Trophy as we're back underway in this AFC Championship.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3.
And I think here with the lead, CD, they have to resist that temptation of kind of looking ahead. Would you agree?
Absolutely, I would agree, because they know the stakes. They know the winner of this game goes to the Super Bowl. And this one, it's far from over. They were the better team in the 1st half, but they do know that they're facing their toughest opponent of the year, and they've got to be prepared for them to fight it out all the way and add a few extra wrinkles in the 2nd half as well. They need to stay on guard.
Here now a 3rd down and 8.
He'll look to throw.
Open man is Chase, complete. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
This is Brown going up the middle. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Right back to Brown.
And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. 90 yards rushing for him now as he tries to will his guys to the Super Bowl. On 1st and 10, here's Brown.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw.
Got a man open. It's Chase.
That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10. Here's Burrow. Steps away. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown.
Jamar Chase.
49 yards.
And the Bengals continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead.
Well, they've been part of the cream of the crop in the AFC all season. It's becoming more and more evident that they're going to get a shot to play for that Super Bowl title.
The momentum has been building, and you mentioned how well they've played throughout the season. It's all come together for them, and they are really laser focused on being that team to represent in the Super Bowl.
They have been dominant in this one.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And the lead is up to 18 now.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
Pushing his way through.
And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. The Raiders now set to get the football back. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down.
They'll get the tight end Bowers involved there.
And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd and 2.
They'll look to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. They've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
2nd and a couple.
They'll look to throw here.
And he couldn't square up to throw there, and it falls incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down.
They'll run for it with Charbonnet.
And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. He needed a yard. He didn't get anything. And the Bengals will get the football back.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10
at their own 23. They defer to Brown to start the drive.
And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's 2nd down.
Here we go.
From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
He certainly did his best to find something on that run, but there just wasn't enough time to make it happen. Nice effort there, avoiding the sack and getting back to the line of scrimmage. That one certainly could have ended up worse.
Here comes 3rd down and 7. Burrow looking to pass. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Evans. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
They'll give this up the middle to Brown. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Another run for Brown on 2nd down. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 98 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
1 quarter remains for the right to go on to the Super Bowl. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Bengals in possession of the football and in possession of the lead as well as we start the 4th. The offense on 3rd down, they've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 4. An inside give, Brown. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. And hold on here because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. 1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. They give it to Brown. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. And hold on here because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Here's a give to Brown. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On the handoff, this is Brown. A little juke. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
As I take a look at the clock, I realize that this drive has eaten up a good portion of the 4th quarter already. Got to tell you, partner, when you're trying to salt away a game, this is exactly what it's supposed to look like.
Here we go.
Handing it off to Brown. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down. Now we get a stoppage because a member of the Raiders shaken up on that one. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
On 1, ready?
Here's 2nd and 7.
Here we go.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Flushed out right. Oh, nice move. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11.
Burrow on his toes that time as they get the first down.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown.
Chase Brown
with his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Bengals are closing in on a Super Bowl berth now as they extend their fourth quarter lead. And McPherson on for the extra point.
And they open the lead up now to 25 points. So that drive spans 13 plays. And in the end, the finishing touch, an 11-yard run.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Raiders heading out to take over. And their dream of a Super Bowl berth so close 3 quarters ago, but obviously starting to slip away if it hasn't already. They need points here and in a hurry.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
It's pretty easy to overlook the fullback when you're making your assignments defensively in the pass coverage game, but in this case, they made him pay for that oversight and picks up a nice gain.
2nd and 2.
Slant to Adams.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
From the 47 now, they work with a 2nd and 7.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones.
Second catch of this AFC title game, but he's got a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
They'll set up to throw. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. There goes a deep ball, end zone. This is intercepted. And the Bengals are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line.
That's interference. Defense.
Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. Oh, a killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching off yardage against them.
Charbonnet, he is going nowhere in a hurry as he is going to lose yardage here in a big way. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time. They're going to look to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. C.J. Ham from 6 yards away. And the Raiders are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. And he wasn't blocking or running it there. They tossed it to him.
And you remember the good old days when the 49ers were riding roughshod in the league? They use their fullback in pass plays all the time. Roger Craig, Tom Rathman, those guys were terrific at running these types of plays.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is down to 28-10. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be snuffed out. The Bengals recover. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics would tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. 2nd and 9 from the 44. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Dancing away at the 35. Shoves him aside. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 174 yards rushing now on 23 carries so far. A run here with Brown. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
2nd and 7. Here's Brown. He will push his way down to about the 14. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
3rd and 5. 3rd down. Here's Brown. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. And the AFC champion has been crowned onto the Super Bowl. There cannot be a better feeling than this.
It's almost indescribable. And when we talk to players from the past, a lot of them mention getting to the Super Bowl, winning a conference championship, even before they talk about the Super Bowl itself. All that hard work to get to your goal, incredible.
And that does it for the conference championship. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And for our entire crew, we'll see you 2 weeks at the Super Bowl. This is the NFL on EA Sports.